This is the drive home with
Zac,
and TT for the Millwall drive home. Driving home from the Priestfield Stadium where it finished. Gillingham 0, Millwall 2. Start of the pre-season. We're back. I'm sure you've missed us. Probably not. It was an emotional day today for many reasons. Obviously, we can't go any further before talking about the great man John Berylson and what a fantastic hold he had on the club. A great man, and he will be sorely missed. Irreplaceable. It was great to read his son's statement that he's going to take over and continue his dad's legacy. And John was a family man. I only spoke to him once, but he was great to talk to. He seems to have time. You see the players and what they've come out and said, and coaches and chief executives. Everyone's got nothing but great words to say about him, and that's a true testament to him. So he will be sorely missed by the club, and hopefully his son will take his legacy on and drive us forward, and like he said, and take us to the promised land. And who knows? But rest in peace, John Berylson, because you had you're the grandfather of our football club, so we appreciate what you did. So now we'll talk about the start of a new season. We had two 11s, first half and second half. First half was pretty decent. I'm going to try and go through each individual player and certainly the new players. But yeah, we had a starting lineup in the first half and in the second half. We were definitely better in the first than we were the second. Change of formation, I don't know whether we're going to take this into the new season, but potentially, because we've now got a couple more strikers, that may be an option. But we started off with Bartosz in goal, wasn't it? Bartosz in goal. We played 5 at the back, but obviously with 2 wing backs. So the back 3 centre backs in the first half was Jake Cooper, Alex Mitchell, who was the Murray Wallace. No, was he the left centre back? He was the left wing back, weren't he? No, he wasn't. It was Murray Wallace was the left centre back. Joe Bryan making his debut at left wing back. Right wing backs was George Honeyman. We had the 2 central midfielders were Billy Mitchell and, surprisingly, Romain Esse. In front of them they had Duncan Watmore, and then 2 strikers in Nisbet and Tom Bradshaw. So I'll go through. I'll quickly tell you about there was a couple of chances in the first half. A ball on the edge of the box went to Billy Mitchell, who smashed it just wide. Great positioning from Billy, and to be fair, it was a good strike. He just needs to get it on target. We then had a goal disallowed. Well, it was disallowed. A run by Joe Bryan cut it back. Joe Bryan cut it back, and Bradshaw put it in, but the ball had been adjudged to have gone out of play.
I thought it was offside. No,
I think it had gone out of play when he cut it back. And then the goal in the first half was, it was a really good run by Duncan Watmore. Drove at the defence, got taken down in the box, and Nisbet stepped up, and you're not going to see a better penalty all season, to be fair. It was a fantastic strike into the top right-hand corner, just clipped the underside of the bar to put us 1-0 up. In terms of the players that played, I felt Billy Mitchell and Romain Esse had a really, really good dominant first half performance. We had a lot more of the ball. I was really impressed with Romain. We're only going to see more and more of him this season, as long as we can keep hold of him, and that's proper exciting stuff. It's very happy to go on the ball. His passing, his range of passing was excellent, and I think he complemented Billy really well. Both of them making tackles when necessary. I was really impressed with Joe Bryan as the left wing back. He looked absolute class, quality on the ball. Made a couple of tackles. Happy to dribble with the ball up and down the wing. Looked to make the right passing. George Honeyman had to come off reasonably early, and Danny McNamara came on for him to play right wing back. I think Danny was supposed to start the second half, but obviously came in for him. Nisbet looked lively, put himself about. Looks like he's got a decent touch. Yeah. There's no. It looked like there was no collaboration with Bradshaw at the moment, but that's going to take some time if they are going to be our starting strikers. I don't think Bart had anything to do. No saves. I don't think he had any saves to make.
No.
We looked pretty comfortable at the back in the first half. Jake Cooper absolutely bullied their number 9. I forgot to mention, obviously, Neil Harris managing Gillingham. He got a good round of applause and a couple of songs chanted for him. And obviously the memorial at the start for JB. Is there anyone else new that I didn't mention? Alex Mitchell. Alex Mitchell was the right centre back, and he won absolutely everything that he went in for. It's a very often said thing, but what a Millwall type player is. But he very much looks. If you could draw a Millwall type player, you'd probably draw Alex Mitchell. He'd run for a wall. Got his head.
Very Murray Wallace type player.
Yeah, got his head on everything. Looked like he was enjoying himself as well. There was a few smiles to the fans, and it obviously got confidence by going up to Scotland last year and has come down. And I think he'll be a regular fixture in this team if I'm being completely honest.
And we needed centre backs and someone who can play on. He played a bit wider as well. He played wider centre back, and he looked like he could drive on the ball as well. So
yeah, he did. And you could, because when you play three at the back like that, you do need to release one of the centre backs every now and again. Now, if we flip it over to the second half, again, it was a completely changed lineup. We had George Long in goal. The back three was the number 30 with a new fella called Akole was the right centre back. Sean Hutchinson was in the middle, and Ryan Leonard was the left centre back. Danny McNamara stayed at right wing back, although they switched that right near the end. Danny came off and Ryan Leonard went right wing back. Left wing back was Malachi, I think his name was. Yeah, I think it's Malachi. Played at left wing back. Looked pretty decent if I'm honest. I wasn't too sure about Akole. But I'll go into that in a minute. The two holding midfielders was George Evans and George Saville. Then you had Zian Fleming in behind, Adu Amakwa and Andres Vogelsammer. Now, we couldn't get hold of the ball in the second half. We created very, very little. Didn't control the ball. There was nothing showing. A lot of that's down to the fact that you lost your legs in having SA and Mitchell in the middle. You then replace them with Evans and Saville. Evans is a lot slower. He's playing at his level, to be fair. He's a League 1, League 2 player. It frustrates me a lot. Everyone has every Millwall fan has one of their players. Mine is George Evans. I just do not see how he gets in our football team. What slows the play down. His range of passing is not good enough for my liking, and it kind of made us disjointed. She didn't show for the ball enough. It kind of made us disjointed in the second half. It meant that we didn't get enough time on the ball and do enough. The goal came from a really great direct bit of play by Mac, who looks like he's lively. He's got pace. Was willing to run at players, which is what you want to see. He's driven into the box. To be fair, the 30th, I think it was 34 for Gillingham, was a decent player, young player. I think he must have been 16, 17.
He looked 12.
Yeah, he didn't look old at all. But he'd done really well before the goal in defending against the Makru, and got his body in the way, and Makru went into the back of him and took him out. But the goal, he kind of just got ahead of him. It was a bit pretty poor defending in this instance, but he's driven into the box to Makru, created a bit of space for himself, and then absolutely drilled the ball into the bottom right hand corner. It was a really
clipped the post, that one.
Yeah, it was a really, really good finish and exciting. I felt that, I said about George Evans, equally as disappointing was Andreas Vogelsammer. Just did not. He seemed to be the wrong side of the defender when the ball came to him. Won very, very little in the air. In fact, won very, very little in total. He just seemed off the pace. Couldn't get himself into the game. Who else? Malachi looked pretty good at left wing back. Yeah. Was happy to run on the ball. Had a bit of confidence. A few good touches. Defensively looked pretty solid. I'm not sure how much he's going to break himself into the squad. I think we may well look at loaning him out
He had quite a bit of skill on him as well.
Yeah, but I don't think he's quite up to the level. I think we'll try and loan him out like we did with Alex Mitchell. I think that would be the plan. Obviously, I don't know what's in Gary Rowett's mind, but that's what, if I was manager, that's what I'd be looking to do. Whereas Amaku would definitely be in and around the squad. And like I said, Akole, he tripped over the ball 2 or 3 times. I think he looked nervous. Solid lad. He's built like an absolute truck. But yeah, it looked like a nervous performance from him. And sorry, let's make sure I do that right. Yeah, it looked like a nervous performance from him. Who else? New players wise, could we talk about?
I think that George Long looked like he'd improved.
Oh, George Long, yeah. The second half, to be fair, Gillingham had a couple of chances. No real big chances, but what Long needed to do, he done.
Shot.
Yeah, what he needed to do, he did all right. Yeah, it's a long shot, but it was pretty much like a cross, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, we did.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. Who's your man of the match?
I forgot what the striker's name is.
Nisbet?
No, not Nisbet. The
Amaku.
other one. Imaku. I think he shined today. I think he looks like a very good player, and he should be in and around the squad.
Who? Zian Fleming. I haven't talked about him. I didn't really get into the game, to be fair. Pretty quiet from Zian. Frankos, who's your man of the match? Okay, Imaku, so we've got to learn his name.
Yeah, he didn't stop running and he just wanted to keep getting to the ball. And when he got the ball, he was a good player. He had a strong finish.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing.
Fair enough. My man of the match, I thought, was SAF in terms of he excites me. It was good to see him in a central position, and like I said, he's going to be a difference maker this year, and that's what you need in the Championship, because we're going to be a solid team. We're going to be difficult to break down, but you need that little bits, moments of magic. And if he's going to play centrally and run on the ball, it's exciting times for the Lions. Obviously, we'll leave it there. We've got Sutton away on Tuesday night, which me and Zac will hopefully be, and the wife actually, she's coming. We'll be up down in Surrey. We're now driving back. We're in the queue for the Dartford Tunnel, which is always an absolute nightmare on the M25, so thoughts and prayers with us. It's going to take us a while to get through this. We can leave it obviously saying rest in peace John Berylson. It's going to be an emotional day at the Den for that opening league game. No doubt it will be a sellout. Fortunately, we're back from holiday. We're going to miss a couple of the friendlies of the Charlton and Fortuna Sittard friendlies, as well as the Middlesbrough away game, but we'll be back for the Bristol City home game. And we'll leave you there. Thank you very much. It's going to be quite a long video. Obviously, there was a lot to discuss with the new players. If you have any thoughts, or you want me to break down another player, or you want me to look at them directly and give you a little bit more information in the Sutton game, please put it in the comments. But we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for coming back. There's only one way we can end it. No one likes us.
We don't care.